Hello and welcome to the Sheriff's Roundup, recapping the first half of 2021. I'm Sheriff Bill Brown, this time coming to you from the squad room here at Sheriff's Headquarters. We are excited to once again be recording the Roundup as we collectively move back to life as we knew it before the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's start the Roundup with a snapshot of how the pandemic impacted the Sheriff's Office and where we were at the start of 2021. Many of us welcomed the new year with far less fanfare than we normally do, staying away from crowds and isolated in our homes, each doing our part to try and stop the spread of the deadly virus. COVID numbers spiked in the first months of 2021, with the number of COVID cases and deaths in Santa Barbara County reaching peaks in early January.
January had the highest case count since the beginning of the pandemic at 10,207. More than triple the case count of the summer peak.
From the onset of Santa Barbara County's response to the coronavirus pandemic, the Sheriff's Office has been involved in the county's planning, preparation, and response. Our county is all too familiar with large-scale disaster incidents. We've learned through practice that no one agency can handle complex public safety emergencies alone. This also applies to public health emergencies like the COVID-19 pandemic. The Sheriff's Office began working collaboratively in unified command with the Public Health Department, the County Fire Department, and the County Executive Office. As a team of teams, we worked together on all aspects of the response to this crisis. The Sheriff's Office immediately recognized the potential devastation that could be caused by an outbreak of COVID-19 in our jail, which is one of the county's largest congregate living facilities, second only to the Federal Correctional Complex in Lompoc. As COVID-19 numbers spiked in the community, an area of focused concern for the Sheriff's Office was the safety of the inmates at the main jail and the staff who guard and care for them. The main jail developed a COVID-19 response plan that included developing necessary facility and equipment disinfection procedures, an inmate intake screening process, modified housing plans, staff and inmate communication and education, and alternatives to traditional visitation. This comprehensive and evolving plan was developed with input from the Public Health Department and from our WellPath Contract Healthcare partners, the jail's medical staff who worked closely with custody staff to ensure that the health and safety of inmates and staff were fully considered. We made a number of operational changes within the jail to protect staff and inmates, which included limiting who could come into the facility and screening through health questions and temperature checks all those who were authorized to be there. All newly incarcerated inmates are now held for a 14-day period in our inmate receiving center before being transferred to the general population, and significant steps were taken to reduce the overall number of inmates in the jail. Vaccinations were made available to all inmates and staff members, and I'm pleased to share that at the time of this recording, all inmates in our jail and all of our staff members are COVID-19 free. Another focus for law enforcement during the pandemic has been the potential for increased domestic abuse, elder abuse, child abuse, and even animal abuse, as families were isolated together in close confines for a lengthy period of time. District Attorney Joyce Dudley led a collective approach to this in the See Something, Hear Something, Say Something campaign, which was and is supported by all area law enforcement agencies and aims to raise awareness and encourage reporting of potential domestic abuse and other relationship crimes.
If you see something,
or if you hear something,
say something.
Please call law enforcement. If you can't call 911, call a victim advocate from our office, 805-568-2400.
We need to support and protect one another. Be willing to make a phone call for someone who can't.
We will be there to protect you.
While we still have a road ahead of us, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we look forward to a return to greater normalcy each and every day. While many hunkered down in their homes, our custody, patrol, dispatch, and admin staff continued to carry out their duties and keep our communities safe. They remained steadfast and diligent in seeking out criminal offenders and bringing them to justice. Let's take a moment to recap a couple of our higher profile cases from the first and second quarters of 2021. The first of these was the January 7th double murder on Burtis Street in unincorporated Santa Barbara of 19-year-old Enzo Marino Rastelli and 19-year-old Jasper Peter Vandermeulen. During a press conference on February 4th, "We will put you in jail and we will bring you to justice," I announced that our detectives had arrested 21-year-old Brian Munoz, 24-year-old Joshua Isaac Vega, and 32-year-old Jorge Luis Silva Guevara, along with a fourth suspect who was a male juvenile. The case, which appeared to be the result of a drug deal gone bad, has since been turned over to the District Attorney's Office and is now working its way through the court process. Sheriff's detectives investigated a third homicide on February 28 that resulted in the arrest of 63-year-old Eladio Herrera for the murder of his wife, 38-year-old Dolores Reyes. A fourth homicide investigation quickly followed with the March 7th discovery of a murdered man in a vehicle on Fox and Canyon Road. That investigation remains ongoing. Homicide rates in Santa Barbara County have increased dramatically in 2021. Last year, in all Santa Barbara County jurisdictions, we had a total of 12 homicides. This year, at the halfway point, we have already seen 17 homicides. In another high-profile case, sheriff's detectives arrested 46-year-old Jaidong Mi of Oxnard on March 26 for a series of sexual battery offenses at his massage business. As a result of diligent follow-up, detectives have now identified 28 victims, and the case has been forwarded to the District Attorney's Office. All of these investigations were carried out with thoroughness, diligence, and teamwork by dispatchers who took the 911 calls, deputies who initially responded, detectives who conducted painstaking follow-up investigations, and custody deputies who processed, housed, and transported the suspects who are now in our custody. Now, let's take a moment to recognize employees of the Sheriff's Office who have been promoted this year. These celebrations are usually crowded affairs attended by family members and colleagues. Sadly, the COVID-19 pandemic halted our ability to gather in person for most of these milestone events, so we adapted by holding virtual ceremonies. Here's a sampling of these virtual ceremonies and the honorees who we celebrated. I, and state your name.
I, Derek Schwartz, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all of the new leaders in our organization. I know they'll continue to make us proud as they lead our agency with our core values of service, integrity, caring, courage, and fairness.
Hello, my name is Philip Farley. I'm a deputy with the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department. This is my canine partner, Odin, and today we'll be reading The Koala Who Could by Rachel Bright and Jim Field.
The National Education Association designated March as National Reading Month, with Read Across America Day being celebrated on March the 2nd. In years past, sheriff's staff were invited into classrooms across Santa Barbara County where they would share a children's story as well as stories about their roles here at the Sheriff's Office. This year, we shared the joy of reading with young people virtually.
It's opener there, in the wide open air.
Todo es maravilloso donde el aire es más airoso.
Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsie as you.
This is a great, positive, uplifting book for young people. And my hope is that by reading this book and listening to it, that you're going to learn that you can do things in life if you want to, and if you believe in yourself.
They could not touch, they could not hug, but they both knew that they were loved. There's a lot of people in our lives right now that we love that we cannot touch, but thank goodness there are so many wonderful ways to show someone you love them.
I hope you enjoyed these stories and the lessons they shared. I want to thank author Jack Canfield, well known for his Chicken Soup for the Soul series, for donating his new book, Mr. Canfield's staff hand-delivered an advanced copy of the book so that we could include it in this video. I also want to send a big thank you to author Ian McLaughlin, who donated copies of his book, While We Can't Hug. Next, we introduce you to the latest four-legged members of our team, the Sheriff's Canines Thor, Dude, and Zeke. Here to tell you a little bit about their partners are Sheriff's Deputy Tyler Davis, Custody Deputy Max Moore, and Sheriff's Deputy Shane Moore.
Hi, my name is Deputy Tyler Davis. This is my canine partner Thor. We've been on patrol for a little over a year now. He's a 3-year-old German Shepherd. Thor's trained in human detection, hard surface tracking, as well as narcotic detection. So human detection for Thor is if somebody's hiding in the woods or somewhere where there's no other humans, he can search out that human scent and find that human. The difference between open area searches and hard surface tracking is when he's tracking for a particular odor, he could go through a park with a lot of people and be able to isolate the exact odor he's looking for to get to the suspect we're looking for, as opposed to if he was going into a wooded area and looking for any human odor of somebody hiding out there. Thor has had quite a few drug finds already out on patrol. Our canine partners, they come home with us, they live with us. Thor's a super energetic dog. He's still pretty young, so he's very hyper. Yeah, so he's definitely excited to work. I think that's his favorite thing.
I'm Deputy Shane Moore. This is my canine partner Zeke, and we've been on patrol together for approximately a year. Zeke is trained in human detection, open area searches. He's also trained in firearm detection, handler protection, and criminal apprehension. Zeke lives with me at home. He's very well balanced. He loves to work. He loves to hang out with partners in briefing. And at home, he just wants to run around with his Kong, play with kids, and say hi to all the neighbors.
Hi, I'm Custody Deputy Max Moore. This is my canine partner, Dude. We've been working together for over a year now. He's almost 2 years old, and he's trained in narcotic detection, specifically methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine, MDMA, marijuana, and Suboxone. So Dude and I work in the jail, and we will hunt for narcotics in inmate housing units. We'll search the mail, and a lot of times substances are soaked into the paper, so he's really good at sniffing that and finding that out. At the end of the day, Dude and I go home together, and he has a kennel in our backyard. He interacts really well with the whole family. He loves to be pet. The neighborhood kids also love to see him, and he's a really good boy, and he's my favorite partner.
Thank you, Tyler, Max, and Shane. All three of their dogs were purchased with donations from within our community. The Sheriff's Canine Unit is primarily funded by such donations through the Sheriff's Benevolent Posse's Deputy Dog Project. For more information on the Sheriff's Benevolent Posse, visit their website at sbsheriffsposse.org. Next, I'd like to share with you a new, unique program that is being offered at UC Santa Barbara and which is being introduced to inmates in our care by the university. The Promise Scholars Program offers formerly incarcerated persons a pathway to academic achievement and success. Here's a video that we share with our inmates highlighting this remarkable program.
The basis of the program is to make sure that every single student that is admitted to UC Santa Barbara, regardless of their background and regardless of their financial situation, has the resources and the ability and the support to make sure that they graduate.
Currently, we have nearly 600 students in the program. We have a small handful of formerly incarcerated students, but we're really looking to expand that population of student because we feel that education is basically a ticket to a life of success.
Want to make sure that we extend that to students that come from incarcerated backgrounds or system impacted families, and we're here to support that population and really see that they're going to be successful here at UC Santa Barbara.
I've been incarcerated predominantly my whole life. I was incarcerated at the age of 12 years old. Before I got out, they offered us college courses. My first two courses I took were Pharmacology of Drugs of Abuse and College Success. And pharmacology of drugs of abuse taught me everything that I was using, and taught me the inside of what it was doing to my body. And I'm happy to say that after that, I decided that I would never use drugs ever again. It was that education, that knowledge, that understanding that uplifted my mind to make that decision. And then I took College Success, which College Success is a personal growth class. It not only taught me how to be an amazing student in school, but it taught me how to be an amazing student in life. And I fell in love with knowledge, and I fell in love with college and school.
The minute I met Ryan, I could tell that Ryan needed, Ryan needed a hand up, and he needed some support. Education is the most powerful thing that a person can have. And we provided that for him, and now, Ryan is, a straight A student. He's a student leader on campus. He's helping us expand the Underground Scholars program.
The Underground Scholars Santa Barbara, we meet weekly, we help each other, and we're all formerly incarcerated students uplifting each other to get into higher education and to get those degrees.
He's a great example of a formerly incarcerated student that can come to a campus like UC Santa Barbara and make an immediate impact.
For the Promise Scholars Program, our graduation rates are 90% in 4 years, or we graduate about 85% of our transfer students in 2 years.
It's designed to support students from the time that they get to campus, and even after they graduate, we want to make sure that they're connected with good employment opportunities, with internships, whatever route they decide to go. A lot of our students are currently looking at graduate school programs, which is also really exciting.
When I was in prison, I had so much internal stuff going on. And I didn't know how to get this internal stuff out, What I would say to somebody that's in there is, advocate for yourself, stand up for what you want for yourself, and go after the college programs, go after the plumbing certificate programs, go after every single program that exists there. Take full advantage of all these programs. The way we get community back together is by expressing our narrative, sharing our stories with one another. That's the way we're gonna uplift our communities, and that's the way we're gonna lead our communities to success.
We're really excited about partnering with the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Office and really taking advantage of the resources that they're offering to inmates that are looking to improve their lives through the course of education.
College it's uplifting us. It's giving us a platform and a space to come together and produce knowledge. You're seeing a big transformation across the board, and there's a lot of progressive work that's happening right now, and they're actually showing results. And so, yeah, that's the beauty of it all.
Thank you to everyone at UCSB for making this important program available. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Sheriff's Roundup. Thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting us as we protect your safety.